First of all, let me warmly welcome Minister Gabrielius Landsbergis, Foreign Minister of Lithuania, my good friend and companion. It's a pleasure to receive you here in your first visit to Portugal. Portugal and Lithuania, we are both members of NATO, we are both state members of the European Union. We have very close bilateral relations. Portugal participates in the air policing mission in the Baltics, and our troops are currently deployed in Lithuania. Thank you very much for the way you treat them, you host them. And we have had a very productive conversation on international affairs. Then we will concentrate during the working lunch on European affairs. But I want to express the full solidarity of Portugal towards Lithuania. No state, every state is autonomous in its decisions. The security of any of us is a matter of interest for itself and for all its allies. So the problems that Lithuania is currently facing in their borders with Belarus, and the way Lithuania is intervening in trying to cooperate to a democratic solution in Belarus, all these deserve the solidarity of Portugal. I want also to thank Lithuania for its openness to support and even to participate in the European Union training mission supporting Mozambique. It is very important, the political support Lithuania has always done to this initiative of cooperating better with Mozambique on the grounds of security, helping Mozambique in combating the terrorist threat. Thank you very much. Gabrielius, you have the floor.
Well, thank you so much. It's indeed a great pleasure to be visiting Lisbon, second time this year. First was during the Foreign Affairs Council that was hosted here in Lisbon, and I'm very glad to have this opportunity now to have a bilateral discussion and bilateral meetings here today. First of all, I would like to thank Portugal for the solidarity and understanding of the Lithuania's security situation, and especially having your mission, your planes and your troops in Lithuania. Indeed, it shows that there is that Europe is really about building bridges and then taking care of each other. Secondly, I would like to thank for the solidarity shown in the wake of the forced migration crisis that we faced during the summer. On a political level, the support is very, very needed for people making decisions in Lithuania and trying to build coalitions for needed changes in the attitude towards especially the forced migration. And on a practical level, Portugal extended hands and offered practical assistance to the government of Lithuania. That indeed is very welcomed, and we're very grateful for that. As Minister said, we had a very interesting and fruitful conversation, and hoping to continue it. From my part, I was glad to suggest that we would discuss European stance in Indo-Pacific, and I'm grateful that Portugal paved the way and championed during its presidency the preparation and the continuation of preparation of the Indo-Pacific strategy, European Indo-Pacific strategy. And I think it's a very important and discussion that has not yet ended. We are seeing many developments in the region, and I think that no country in the European Union is excluded from it. Some of us have more experience in the region, as Portugal does. Some of us are new to the region, but already feeling the globality of the questions that are reaching us in the European North. And I think that experience sharing, knowledge sharing, and solidarity in future political steps are incredibly important. And I'm very glad that we have this conversation. And lastly, I need to mention that Lithuania is a very strong transatlantic supporter in the alliance, and we talked about the need to strengthen the transatlantic alliance and keep on strengthening it, because it's not a given that the ties that you always need to be rebuilt and strengthened, and new bridges and new ties need to be built. And in Lithuania being on the geopolitical fault line, we very much feel the need for stronger transatlantic alliance, and I'm grateful that we have a lot of common understanding between Portugal and Lithuania. Thank you, dear Minister, for the possibility to be here.
Please.
Minister, I would like you to comment on the dispute that this morning rose between Hungary and Ukraine after the signing of the contract yesterday for the gas coming from Russia. How this will affect the region, and I would like to have your comment on that, please. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I think it's unfortunate that the Ukraine is finding itself in a rather difficult situation when it comes to energy. First of all, because the finishing of Nord Stream 2 pipeline already puts Ukraine in rather unfavorable situation, even though there are guarantees, political guarantees from the German government, and less so from the Russian government. I think that it's still very unclear how the situation will develop, whether those guarantees will work. So Hungary's decision just adds up to the worries that Ukraine will find itself in a very difficult situation. I have to add to that it's not only about the energy that we're making with the European Union and with these decisions like Nord Stream and now Hungarian, we're making Ukraine's situation ever more difficult security-wise as well. That means that Russia, still waging a war in Ukraine, gets a new and extremely strong leverage against Ukrainian state in order to press it for its military needs. And I think that really the NATO alliance should take this into consideration, that the security situation, national security situation of Ukrainian country is worse than it was a year ago, and not only because of Russia's doing, but of what happened with the deals made on energy.
My comment is a very specific one, but I think important. Recent developments regarding the supply of gas to Europe reinforce the Portuguese position that it is very, very important that European Union as such consider the need to diversify the sources and chains of supply of energy to Europe. It's an issue, an economic issue, but also a very important security and geopolitical issue. And with that intent, we need to improve the production of renewable energy in Europe, and we need to consider the fact that interconnections, interconnecting all European countries are a fundamental means in order that, for instance, solar energy produced in Portugal or in Spain can also provide energy supply and energy security to the Central and Eastern Europe. So we need to diversify our sources of energy, not only in terms of the markets that are supplying gas, oil, or renewable energy to Europe, but also investing more in the production of green hydrogen and of renewable sources of energy like wind, solar, or hydric. Thank you very much.
Thank you.